All right. Well, good to meet with you suddenly. This was a last minute plan to come and meet with our people live stream. I'm not even sure how many people are actually posting on this or looking at this right now. I'm sure it's because it's some people are still at work. Some people weren't expecting this is us to have a live stream event right now. And I know that what will happen if you guys don't actually get on, that you will get to be on later, and we will send this to everybody's text message. Send it by text message, this announcement that we're going to give. We've been, for about a month and a half now, been out of church collectively where we haven't been able to be together, and it's been difficult. It's been a lot of feeling like I thought it was kind of neat to be able to go on a vacation early, a summer vacation early, but I really am looking forward to being off summer vacation and be able to be back together in a normal type of life where there's some bit of normalcy going on with being in church and being with our people and expecting people to show up outside of just our family and Brother Simmons and occasionally Melissa or Shai stepping in. It has been a learning process. We've been going through a lot of having to figure out how to do this. And yeah, we've had lots of little bugs here and there. I even was told at the end of the service last night that we had a little bug just regarding the mic for a few seconds, and I got to see that, just a little click of something that it wasn't put on. So there's been a lot of learning going through just hosting one of these week after week after week and trying to figure it out. And I thank you for your patience, and thank you for being involved and participating and commenting in the live chats as we go through and letting us know that you're involved and that you're participating in what's going on and that we're not doing this all alone. But we did get some news that came out today from our governor that she's starting to lighten up some of the mandates that we've been under. And one of the mandates that she has lightened up is the churches. There were 77 counties in which she lifted mandates or lightened up the mandates of the social distancing and allowing businesses to open up. I mean, I can go through some of them, but there's really no necessary need. She's got stipulations on restaurants and bars, fitness centers, swimming pools, salons, barbershops, malls, libraries, racetracks, and other non-essential retail establishments. And part of that has to do with how much of a percentage that they are actually allowed to run their service, like specifically like a restaurant can only have 50% of its restaurant actually filled to capacity. Only 50% of the allowable capacity can actually be in there, and then seats have to be so far apart and all of that kind of stuff. But with that, also mass gatherings have been adjusted and allowed, and it's not just in 77 counties; it's all 99 counties the restraints have been lifted. And here, let me read what it says to us. This is mass gathering, section 6 of the mandate that was made today. It says, it goes on and it's talking about the Department of Public Health, unless otherwise modified by subsequent proclamation and order of the Iowa Department of Public Health. Social, community, recreational, leisure, and sporting gatherings and events of more than 10 people shall continue to be prohibited, listen to this, at all locations and venues, including but not limited to parades, festivals, conventions, and fundraisers, effective 12/01 May the 1st, 2020 until 11:59 p.m. on May 15th, 2020. So there's some things that are let up by May 15th. But here's what it says, Part A. Spiritual and religious gatherings are not prohibited by this section, but a church, synagogue, or other host of spiritual or religious gatherings shall implement reasonable measures under the circumstances of each gathering to ensure social distancing of employees, volunteers, and other participants, increased hygiene practices, and other public health measures to reduce the risk of transmission of COVID-19, consistent with the guidance issued by the Iowa Department of Health. So here's what they're saying is that the churches are now allowed, in every county, are now allowed to have public services again. And that is a big blessing to our church to be able to do that. And so here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Sunday school this week starts at 10 o'clock. This morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, make the plan to be here. You've been out too long for you to not make it important. Make the plan to be here. Sunday school. Make the plan to be here. Sunday service, 11 o'clock. Make the plan to be here. 7 o'clock, Sunday evening service. Church is too valuable for us to not take it serious. And again, what does it mean that we need to do when we're gathering together? Well, obviously do some of the same kinds of things. Take some risk. We got 2 bottles full of that sanitizer solution, and squirt your hands. If you need to sit far apart, that's fine. You've been in our auditorium. You know how. If you have trouble seeing that, I'll show it to you. You've been in our auditorium. Go the other way here. Look at there. You got plenty of room in which you can actually sit far apart if you need to. So I hope that's not a big problem for anybody coming to church, that you can see that that's how it's going to be. But this is important, being together. That's what actually the very definition of a church is. A church is a called out assembly of believers of like faith that are practicing their faith in a collective way. And the Bible says we're not to forsake the assembling of ourselves, but we are to, as often as we can, we are to make it important to collectively come together to provoke each other unto love and good works. And that's partly what's done in the preaching services. That's also done individually together. This week I was writing a letter to Elliot in the jail, and I was telling him about some of the things, one of the questions he had brought up, and was telling him about church conduct. And one of the responsibilities of the church is to hold each other accountable. And that's not the pastor doing that with every church member. That's church members doing that with church members. Believers in the Lord that are holding each other accountable. We can't do that at a distance. And now this restriction has been lifted. Don't abandon what you have as a privilege, and hopefully has been prompted in your heart to be part of. So starting this Sunday, we're planning on having our first collective service together that we've had in over a month time. This will be Sunday, May the 3rd. Sunday, May the 3rd. So make it an important, special day. And we're going to try to look at doing something probably within the next few weeks, having a communion service, also having a dinner on the grounds. Maybe we've talked about with a few of the people in the church about possibly doing some kind of an outside barbecue on the lawn, maybe on a off night as a church, coming together and just doing something special, having some picnic tables set up on the lawn, and just really enjoying our time with each other and the fellowship we can have with each other. Again, trying to be cautious and not try to spread anything. Obviously we don't want somebody to go and get something that's going to make somebody sick. We don't want to spread the COVID-19, and we want to be together, and that's important. And at times there are needs, there are things, everything about life has risk, and you can't completely remove the risk entirely. But we are called to be together. That's what we were saved. We're part of a body collectively, and as a body we work together, and we need to see that important role and responsibility. So with that in mind, that's our announcement. That's the COVID-19 update, the coronavirus update, and I hope that you're excited about that. I'm excited about it, and I will see you on Sunday. And I will post this to everybody that didn't obviously get to. It looks like we had 3 that picked up and are live streaming, but we will post that specifically to everybody's voicemail, or voicemail to their text messaging, and so that everybody can get it and know what's going on. All right, we'll talk to you later. Yes, Thursday is still a live stream service. So this Thursday we will have a live stream service. Our last official live stream with nobody here. service. And then we do intend to keep the live stream going, obviously, to try to be reaching out. We want to make this another means by which we can reach people here in Ottawa. I ordered a sign, should be here, that says Church Online, that we can post out on the yard, and that way we can try to reach people out in our community through what we're doing here at the live stream. All right, well, thank you for tuning in. For the three that did tune in, good to see you, Monica. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you again, and have a great week.